So, welcome to Income Beyond Borders. Um, Monday morning, Monday afternoon, depending on where you're at. We Panama City, beautiful 90-degree temperature today. I wanted to go real basic, as basic as I could get, for people to understand. You look at what's happening now, you got the war going on, war scares people. Um, People don't know what to do. Terrifying time. So I want to break it down where the market goes up and the market goes down. And in bad times, the market goes down. But when you really look at it, the philosophy of the market is when the market goes down, is when you just lick your chops like, ooh, we. To really break that down, when you go back to in the United States with the Great Depression, the market just dropped like crazy. But there were people like Joe Kennedy that understood what was really happening and made a fortune when everybody else lost everything that they had. Joe Kennedy made a fortune. So I'm not saying we're in those times now. What I am saying is I'm going to break it down to the basics. So, one thing about the stock market, it goes up and it goes down. So, I'm going to show the basics. I'm going to tell you what all of these, they're called candles. I'm going to break those down for you, but today I just want to show you the whole concept of what I'm trying to show. So we go back to this is Robinhood, um, HOOD, is if you want to go to the chart and look at that. But in April, so we're going back to February and March of last year. That's when Trump, United States president, was talking about putting tariffs on everybody. And that negative news made the market drop right here. So we in Hood went from $67 a share to 40 to $30.82 a share. That's in April. So like what's going on now? Market is going down. It's dropping, right? Some people got terrified here because they felt like they were losing money. You only lose when you sell. Let me repeat that. You only lose when you sell. So some people, they sold here because they was like, oh my God, I'm about to lose all my money. The market is going down. Well, what happened from, what is that, April the 7th, the market went up, 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 and it is 52-week. You're going to hear me say that a lot. It hit its 52-week high, $153.81 in October of 2025. So if you would have held on through the fear, right? And in the fear, as it's going down, you're buying more shares. And if you bought shares like right here at 47, then you bought some more shares at 41. That's called dollar cost average. It's gonna average out the difference between 57 and 46 and 37, and then it's gonna give you a average. This is the average that you paid for the shares. So say you paid $40 a share, and you bought 1,000 shares, and you held on all the way through the run up to 153 a share. So you went from 40 to 153. That's like $110 um, growth in your shares. And that's really the basics because so this is October 2025, October the 8th, 2025. We hit the 52-week high, and then stocks go up and they go down. So now we're at March the 2nd, 2026. So we went from 153 to where we at now, 78.96, right? So what are you doing here? And let me say this: I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not any of that. What I'm doing is I'm just showing y'all how I look at things and what I'm doing. So you know, you can listen to what I'm saying, but you're investing your hard-earned money. Go talk to a professional. I'm just showing you what I do. So we went from 153 to 78. And what are we doing as it's coming down? Where everybody else is terrified. Oh my God, the stock market is crashing. You hear all these people talking about it on CNBC and oh my God, what do you do? The market is crashing. It's crashing. Get out, get out. What are you doing? Same thing you did at the start, back in April when the tariffs hit, the market dropped. You are dollar cost averaging. So we buy in shares as the price is going down on them. We bought some shares here, 124. We bought some shares here at 100. We bought some shares here at 75. And then it's going to average out. So I probably paid $80, $85 per share, right? Now, yes, you can say, "Ooh, Rodney, the shares used to be 153, and what happened with my money?" Like I said, as long as you don't sell, right? You don't sell. As it's going up, you can sell some. So if I bought them down here, if I bought shares down here at 58 and it went up to 109, I can sell some. Say I have 200 shares. I can sell 25 shares and take some profit, right? It doesn't make sense to just be on the wheel where you make money, then they take it away, and you make money, and then you take it away. You can sell some and get some of your profit, right? So if you dollar cost average, we get down here. So how I look at it is I'm looking for companies that's good company, good solid companies, right? Um, like I tell people, Robinhood is something that's kind of new. You know, if you 50 years and older, you know, Robinhood is new. But how I look at the companies that I'm gonna buy share wise is is this something that is gonna be around when my youngest grandchild, which is 4, um, is it gonna be around when they turn 30? You know, a company like Robinhood, which is geared toward the youth, far as how they can invest in the stock market, I feel like okay, it's gonna be around, right? So now I'm waiting on the company shares to drop. So I look at the 52-week high for Robinhood. It was 153.86, and now it is 78.86. So their shares dropped from 153. This is how I do it too. 86 minus 78.84. Their shares dropped $75 per, right? $75 cheaper than what it was at its 52-week high. So that's pretty good. If I buy some shares now and it goes back up to 153, um, I made $75 per share profit. Um, so that's how I look at things. That's what I'm doing right now. Uh, and that's one of the things that I want to show you. Let me give you another one. Uh, Here you go. CRWD, which is CrowdStrike Holding. Their 52-week high was $566.90. And right now it's sitting at 385.71. So let's look at that. 566.90 minus 385.80. So that's a difference of $181.10 per share difference, right? Now, I'm not saying that it's going to go up to its 52-week high. What I am saying is we can look at this is his 52-week high. What was it? Five. So we got higher than the 52-week. So it went up to 567.84. But if we look at it, look at the chart, and going down, we're going down, we're going down. And we down here to 200, which is lower than what it is now. And that was August 2024. Let's see what was happening. Let me find April. Let me find April. This is probably April. March, April. This is the tariff talks. went down to 305. It went down to 302 in March. In April, went down to 299. And then from April to, let's say here, July 518, you could have got out there. Probably should have got out there. Now here we're going up a little higher, 560 in November. So what did we say when we were looking at Robinhood? April to October. This one went April to November. And it went up to 568. So what I'm saying is you understand that markets are going to go up and they're going to go back down, then they're going to go back up. If it's a solid company, right? We're not talking about, I don't really even look at companies that's new and haven't been proven and all of that. I look at companies that, META, companies that are well known, they're not going nowhere. Like, okay, Meta. Let's look at Meta. Meta 52-week high was 796.25, which is probably 795. That's August. Let's go. Let's go to April. Tariff talks. Tariff talks. We came from 738.64. President of the United States talking about putting tariffs on everybody. Fell. Oh my God, the market is crashing. April fell down to 478.38. And then from 478.38 in April, here we go. There we go. There we go. September. So here, because you gotta pay attention to what your shares are doing, what your money is doing. Basically, money is out there working. You gotta pay attention to it. So this one, that run was over in August, but we ran up to almost $800. And ran up to 802.75. You get out, right? You sell some profit, and then you start dollar cost averaging. But some here, 663, and Meta came all the way down to 580. I bought dollar cost average, and all I'm really doing is just watching. If it keep going down, I keep buying. If it start going up, then I watch. The funny thing to me, people, they had their money with financial advisors or whatever, and they pay no attention to it. They don't check up on it. And to me, just my mentality for all of that is, this is my money. I watch it all the time. Because if I'm not watching it, to me, that's like me taking my money and sitting it out on the front step, and I'm letting somebody else watch my money. No, I work too hard. Learn how to watch your money, learn how to let your money make money. When you in the market, your money is making money when you sleep, So learn how to do that. But I want to show y'all some of the I'm not paying any attention to what's going on with the war and people like, ooh, get into oil and all. I'm not paying any attention to any of that, right? With my philosophy, I need 5 or 6 companies that are gonna be around when my grandkids get 30, and they're great companies. They're not going anywhere, right? They are involved in all the stuff that's going on. I don't care what people say about Tesla. Tesla gonna be around because Tesla's doing those rockets, right? I don't think their main focus is the cars. I think their main focus is the rockets. People want to go to the moon or wherever they want to go. Tesla can get them there. They're gonna be around. So I'm looking at companies that they failed so far from their 52-week high, right? But they're great companies. Um, Oracle. Oracle 52-week high is 345.72. Now it's 148.35. Right? Um, Coinbase, right? And do your research. I'm just gonna give you the names. You ain't got to do what I do, but do your research. Find out who Coinbase is. Coinbase 52-week high 444.64. Today is 183.27. That's what I'm talking about, right? United Healthcare. We know United Healthcare. They ain't going nowhere. Uh, CEO got shot and killed in New York. We don't hear anything about that anymore. But made they stock drop. They 52-week high was 606.36. Is down to 290.93. And like I said, United Healthcare, they're gonna be around. You know, you're gonna start hearing when they start coming up, you start hearing about them. United Healthcare got a new CEO and they did this and they did that, and the media start pumping them up. That stock is 9 times out of 10 probably gonna come back up. So if it go from 290 to 606, and the difference is, let me see what that difference is. I like doing this too. 606.36, 290.93. The difference is $315.43 per share. That's the difference of where it is now to where it may go back to, right? And when you really want to look at it, if you really want to get what I'm saying, go back to one of the worst times in U.S. history, the Great Depression. Look at where the market dropped to and look at where it went from the bottom. You never know where the bottom is. You never know where the top is. That's where the dollar cost averaging comes in. As it's going down, you're just buying. If you don't buy into the market is crashing, the world is coming to an end, if you don't buy into all of this negative that they put out in the media, then you see. I mean, that was a time where you could think maybe the United States is coming to an end. There were dust storms and people didn't have any money and all of this market drop. But if you go back to where the bottom hit, and then you see 3 years later where it was, came back up. 2000, what is it, 70, what is it, 79, 75? the gas shortage and all that went down, came back up. 2008, housing went down, came back up, right? Came back up and went past where it was. So here's some of what I'm looking at. I'm looking at Oracle. Like I said, Oracle 52 was 345.72. It's at 144.35 now. Datadog, it is, and there's DDOG. 52-week high was 201.69. Today is 110.64. Meta, you got that kind of money. Meta was 796.25, and today is 655.82. Strategy, MSTR. Strategy 52-week high was 157.22. Today is 136.38. Big one. Bitcoin, everybody's favorite. 52-week high was $126,238.22. Today it had to come up $69,062.94. AMD, everybody's favorite. 52-week high was 267.08. Today, 196.71. Amazon, great company. Like I told you, great companies. 52-week high is 258.60. Today is 208.80. And today's not over, so I'm probably midday with these prices, right? Tesla, 52-week high is 498.83. Today is 401.40. Microsoft, good company. 52-week high is 555.45. Today is $400.15. Right, $155 difference. Palantir, 207.52 is a 52-week high. Today is 145. It was going up today. 145.93. And United Healthcare 606.36. And today was 290.93. Those are the ones that I'm looking at far as long term. I see the difference. You talking about $100 or $300 difference in the price of their high to their low per share, right? And what I'm trying to do is build up my shares. The more shares you have, the more you make. So if you start off with whatever you can get fractions of shares too. You don't have to, you don't have to pay $796. You don't have to have that. You can have $10, and every week, every paycheck, I buy $10 of. And you want to get it to, I went from a fraction of a share to 10 shares to 50 shares to 100 shares to, my opinion, I'm trying to get to 1,000 shares per. Because I think when you hit 1,000 shares of whatever you got, 1,000 shares of Microsoft, 1,000 shares of Tesla, you good, right? And you just build it slow. You got time. The market is going to go down, and it's going to go up, and it's going to go down, and it's going to go up. My favorite saying is from a guy named Chris Sane. He'd be on YouTube, big shot dude. I learned a lot from him. But his favorite saying, rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. And then stay disciplined. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Quit listening to all this stuff that these people are saying. right? Keep doing it. The market gonna be here. Ain't going nowhere. So I will get back with y'all, but I hope that helps. And I'm going to, now that I broke that basic, now I'm gonna explain more of the charts. What I talked about today is more focused on long term investors. Um, Tomorrow, or when I come back on here, I'm going to focus a lot on short term. It's like how you make money today. So until then, thanks for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button, comment, hit the like button, and I'll see you later.